Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. All right, so I have a bunch of reads for you today. Today is the 16th of May, but I have a union read and a divine masculine twin flame read for you on the 15th and the 16th. And this first read, which is a union read, it's a double read. I was guided to put out not only one feminine and masculine, but two side by side. So not representing the masculine and the feminine, but representing the masculine and feminine within each, the feminine and the masculine side by side. So that was kind of cool that came up. I'm going to show you each of the four reads so you have all the pictures, so you can take a picture now if you'd like to keep up with looking at it while I'm going over it. First, this came up. Let me just focus it for you. This came up before the union read when I was shuffling. So I just wanted to show you that. This is the double union read from yesterday. This is the main part of the Divine Masculine Twin Flame read from yesterday. This is the full read from yesterday for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, so you can look at that. This is the main read for today that's in front of you. Sorry about the grid lines on the video. And then this is the read for today, the main part of it, the one that's in front of you. The one before that obviously was the union read, not the one in front of you. And then this is the full read that's in front of you now, okay? Alrighty. So today's the 16th, but first we're going to review the 15th really quick since I didn't do a video yesterday. The 15 was the devil, and the day added up to 24/6, which is the Queen of Wands. So that addiction, codependency, energy, perhaps using sexuality or feminine wiles to get your way. That may have been some of the energy that came up yesterday. You may be feeling some frustration coming up. There's definitely some of that coming up, and just allow everything that you're feeling to come up and through. It's all just coming through to process and to see both sides of the situation, right? The duality, and bring it to the center point, the 0 point energy. So I was going to go to the beach yesterday with my son, but when we woke up, we were both just really exhausted. So you may feel exhausted as well. So we decided not to go. So the union read from yesterday was done at 10:30 to 33 a.m. And 30 is the 4 of Wands, 33 is the 7 of Wands. So the union energy of the home and stability, and then standing up for yourself, hopefully not becoming defensive or getting triggered in situations. So this double read was very cool. So side by side, the feminine on the left, the masculine on the right, and the bottom, the center grid of 9, the bottom row is the 3D, the middle row is the 4D, the top row is the 5D. The 3 cards on either side, the left is the feminine energy coming in, the right 3 cards are the masculine energy going out, and then the single cards are the underlying energy on the left, and then the closing energy on the right. Okay, and since there's 2 reads here, there's also cards in between there too, which means the same thing. It's just two different reads. The one on the left for the feminine, one on the right for the masculine, and they're feminine and masculine within themselves. All right, so this first double union read went from the 8 of Cups, underlying energy, to the center of the first read, which was the 3 of Cups, to the center of the second read, which was the Queen of Swords, to the 8 of Wands. So walking away to come together with the Queen of Swords to express feelings and energetic exchange in arrows of love. The underlying divine feminine going into the first was climbing out of the dungeon with flame to the light, 9 other flames all burnt out, and the Queen of Pentacles standing strong financially as the Page of Cups inner child opens their heart widely to all. So on the feminine side, the 3D is the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Magician. The divine feminine ignited passion, creativity, inspiration, as the divine masculine side of her proposing indigo diamond, bridging by the Queen of Wands, the drama queen, or your inner siren. The 4D on the feminine side was the divine feminine frog prince, that 5 of swords, juggling 3 after dropping 2, the divine masculine floating on air, juggling 2, or in other words, picked up the 2 that the frog prince had dropped. And they're floating on air. They're not even juggling. They're just balancing them with their energetic pull, or just balancing perfectly without touching them, and bridging the 2 via reunion and joy. The outgoing divine masculine for that read, which then is the ingoing divine feminine for the next read, is the bridge to the other side, the underlying divine feminine number 2. The divine masculine's heart in the bat cave, rising above drama to tango and boldly go where no man's gone before, to move, to travel, ascend, perhaps study Durga or shamanism, or in other words, East and West Indies were coming up. So for the second part of the read, the divine masculine part, his inner feminine and masculine, the 3D, was the divine feminine message news or air sign child with a little bit of light, and the divine masculine sending 5D messages post haste, I love you, towards the Empress with open arms. The bridging in the 3D of the masculine by the King of Cups water sign masculine, or unconditional love, what 2 kids bring together, let no man put asunder. The 4D for the masculine was the divine feminine side studying their abilities, the divine masculine's higher self with secrets and psychic abilities, bridging the 2 by the Queen of Swords with getting a handle on the truth trigger, perhaps hoeing the garden and weeds and separating the wheat from the chaff. So again, this is the 4D within the masculine's feminine to masculine. Now the 5D for the masculine side is the divine feminine suffering in silence, stressed, necessary purging, and the divine masculine ending pain or a painful end or back treatments, bridged by hiding their anxiety, prison, or every last little bit up to the 5D for a final purge and transmutation on the masculine side. So the divine feminine 1 is the 3D new passion to grow into the 4D frog to prince, expand and stretch into the 5D union. The divine feminine for the masculine is the message to the 4D to freshen up, spark notes and study, and then purge in 5D, or 2 kids who are stepping it up to help him. Perhaps they are also ascending. For the divine masculine for the feminine is the 3D magician indigo proposal to peak in their knowing in 4D, and 5D healing and shining their light with music as well. Atlantis and Egypt were coming up here also. And definitely purging here in the 5D. The divine masculine number 2 was the 5D message in the 3D though. So in the 3D, sending a 5D message or a massage to the 4D higher self or their twin to their 5D in order to end pain by clearing energies over the back area, or in other words, the spine, which is where the energy line lives. So the bridge in the first one for the feminine was the Queen of Wands drama in the 3D, performance, sexual and creative, to come together in the 4D and take steps to ascend to the 5D heaven. The bridge number 2 for the masculine was 3D, unconditional love, and the King of Cups. And then in the 4D, the Queen of Swords with her hand on the truth, imprisoned together in the 5D, hiding out together. Her passionate message prompts an offer from him, encouraging him to grow and study his lessons, him and his 5D knowing, in 4D. She in union to purge his pain, and he starring in music, light, healing, and or ending pain or back pain and or betrayals. The number grid that came up from this first union read, we had the page of the overall number was 95, which is the reflection of 59, which is that frog to prince, the 5 of swords energy. So I'll tell you that in just a second, because I was definitely processing that energy at the end of this read. So the energies horizontally came out to 54, 10, and 31 over both reads, the two side by side. And they were also 19, 10, and 22 for the feminine, and 35, 0, and 9 for the masculine side. The vertical lines came out to 18, 10, 10, 2, 47, 9, 8, 10, and 17, which both ways obviously add up to 95. So the Page of Swords is destined to expand to end the war. Exposure of the wounded warrior, destiny to be human, to be foolish and wise. In the first read, sunny and destined free to leap, this is the feminine, to the King of Swords. The second horizontal was the wounded warrior, human, or the masculine. And so this is him showing his wounded warrior, human self, and the wise hermit as well, grounding and integrating, mastering the receiving of love and allowing him to receive that love. And the other direction was the moon, the nighttime or the new moon coming up, the double destined or twin destiny of the high priestess, secret, intuitive, and synchronicities, and heaven in their eyes, as the emperor in the chariot is with the hermit, strong destiny of the stars, healing and shining their lights. The 59 comes up with about the war within, and it's also the 59 before 60, the 11th hour. And the 95 then is free to be compassionate. After isolated and setting self free by a salesman mentality, the salesman is giving things away now for free instead. So the one side of the 59 is like the salesman proving righteousness, and then the 95 becomes nothing to prove. There's no more defensiveness. Okay, so then we have this is the Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for yesterday, this next one. I'll re-show you the main picture just so you have a quick visual. All right, first Divine Masculine read. This is from yesterday. All right, so this is where we're going into now. All right, so this one was done at 6:42 last night. 6 is the Lovers, 42 is the Two of Cups. The major arcana were Indigo and Tower within the read. Indigo is like the Magician, but it's a young energy. It's a young boy energy, as the Magician holding like a huge diamond in his hands off as an offering. So that came up, and as well the Tower energy, which is literally flames all over the place. Before the read, the Reason card came up, which is the Emperor, and after the read, the Chariot card came up. We had 2 wands, 1 sword, 4 pentacles, and 2 cups, so mostly pentacles, which has to do with money and daily duties. The court cards were Page of Cups, King of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Before the read, the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords came up, and after the read, the King of Cups came up. The numbers and the code line for this read were all about karmic completion, patience, creativity, and compassion, so a lot. The numbers came up, we only had double 5, so 55 came up, which is the Truth, Excalibur, the Ace of Swords. We also had the sequence 3, 4, 5, and that has to do with 3D, 4D, 5D. The number 7 also came up, those were the main numbers, as well as 57, which is the Three of Swords. And then in a lesser sense, 23 came up, the King of Wands, and 79, which is the Pot of Gold at the end of the rainbow. So in regards to karmic completion, and the C was covered, so again it was coming up as Om-pletion. So to make sure you use your Oms. Karmic completion, patience, creativity, and compassion. So the code line message here, there were no numbers here. And that's interesting. Is it the same today? We had TV ads coming up in this read last night. Perhaps after death, telepathy, or it doesn't have to be telepathy when that TV comes up, because it's really television, which has to do with our connection between us, because it's not really telepathy, although we do have telepathy. We also have a direct heart connection, but we also have the ability to connect through our crown together in the etheric realms. So there's multiple connections here. So after death, television, and Sophia, or the feminine collective energy, seek the indigo, or in digging for the human, the zero, the human embodiment of source, and the fidelity of co-creation regarding the Jesus Mary Magdalene template here. To see also again, advertisements were coming up big for TV, and to see in your feminine energy your kin or your family digging for the human, right? The purity of the human, and racing high temperatures, IV creation of Jesus. So in your feminine, you then amp up the temperature, becoming more angelic as opposed to human, but more in your feminine energy in order to co-create at a higher temperature, and also that the sensual side of the feminine. Because remember, masculine and sexuality is the aggression, whereas the feminine is the sensual side. So it's ramping up that feminine side of the masculine in order to learn how to co-create with the feminine in an IV manner, right? Streaming. IV is like streaming, constant flow. So some of the stuff that came up online here were a lot about indigo was coming up. One specific header came up, indigo had the G capitalized, and then places Airbus A320, so that 32 comes up, which is the journey, the Six of Wands, and it said A320 NEA in lowercase letters, family, order for the 300 aircraft, and it was on 10/29/19, and it caught my eye because 10/29 is my son's birthday, and that's Scorpio, by the way, for those of you not familiar. So just quickly, the headers that came up were 120 plus best Kodi add-ons from vpnranks.com, FIV Entertainment Channel, that was coming up from Facebook, the one I just told you. And then families seek big changes to guardianships, and that was from WFLA.com. And then Snake Battle from YouTube came up. So there may be some snake-like energies coming up here. And again, that's Kundalini energy. It's pitch perfect as 5 community projects seek help. So again, this is people helping each other out. This was coming up from bordermail.com. And the acronym that came up under that heading was LIN as in Nancy, CD as in dog, Local Indigo Network Charity Drive, and NBSP. So obviously charitable types of organizations. Another header was moosejaw.com that came up. Backpacking, climbing, and French kissing came up on that header. And then Canal Indigo, which was from en.wikipedia.org. So when I went into Wiktionary, the word of the day was uxorial, pertaining to a wife or her genes or relatives, which is funny because the Queen of Wands and the Devil were coming up this day, yesterday. Or in other words, uxorious, devoted to one's wife. The foreign word, I can't explain to you how the letters are because the alphabet's different, but it's germasti, and that was a wayfaring tree that came up. So the acronyms that came up in the code, the heading here was FIV, which the 2 definitions for that came up: feline immunodeficiency virus, and then abbreviation for factor 4 in regards to clotting, or in some way related to PT values. So feline immunodeficiency virus, okay? So now we have, this is like comparing an AIDS virus to the cats, FIV. And then the abbreviation for factor 4, which is problems in clotting. And what happens when we can't clot our blood? Well, we die, because if we get cut, we bleed to death. Okay? So we're referencing cats here, notice, feline. So hold on to that thought. Then we have the acronym VEN, thing, when, vein, shorebank, side, mild, bent grass, to come, that one, wind, vent, beautiful friend, 20, mirror, shallow lake or pond, wine, out, outwards, and venerable, or in other words, commanding respect. Another acronym came up was just Indi, INDI, as opposed to the whole indigo. So Indi, not only does it bring up Indy 500, but heart, it means heart. And also there, as in from there, it also means Indian, like Indi. Indian and Indium, which is the atomic number 49, which is the Get Your Wish card, the 9 of Cups. It's the symbol IN, I am presence, and N is Jesus for me, the single atom of this element, which is a soft and silvery white metal. And Indi also means now. AD means for, in order to, hell, underworld. So think about this, guys, because ad is code for advertisement, right, which everybody knows, and also after death. But think about this. AD means, in reference to advertisements, it means hell, underworld, name, noun, reputation, fame, hat, eye, fire, funeral, pyre, story, they, them, toward, to, at, I do, do. It's like a shortened version of those two, I do and do, and to give, to throw, and then ew or bleh, and then advantage, as in tennis or debating, having the advantage, and then, of course, as you know, the advertisement. And then ADT also came up, which is a protection company, but it's also a short for adult. So going back to the code line, and Cleveland came up with the Cleveland Indians. So hell, fame, fire, advantage, and advertisement all mean this are under the same word or the same acronym. So I was getting hellfire, advertisements after death. And then the television, seeking the heart, or the shaman, because that's the Indian, the now moment. Seeking the heart, the now, the Indian, the indium, to go. The cat immunovirus, factor 4, which is the emperor, number 4, and venerable, commanding respect, of the 20, which is the judgment, and being beautiful, allowing the friend, the wind, and the wind. So the hellfire televisions, or your connection with your twin, TV advertisements, the hellfire within you. So it's kind of referencing TV and advertisements as the connection to the twins and their abilities as far as television, telepathy, and their heart connection, using those visions to seek brave heart now as the 49, the Get Your Wish card, being satisfied with yourself, and go, cat, feline, virus, commanding respect, TV ads seek brave heart now. So that sounds like an ad in itself. TV ads seek brave heart now. And that has to do with the Divine Masculine's heart, the 49, and that the cat goes viral. Okay, so there's a lot of references to cats, and we'll get into that in a minute because cats and dogs come up as well. All right, so this first Divine Masculine read at 7:42 last night. 7 is the Chariot, 42 is the Two of Cups. We had the Three of Wands upright as the underlying energy, and below that underlying energy were the Knight of Pentacles reversed, Reason, which is the Emperor, upright, Two of Cups upright, and Page of Swords upright. So being present after no movement, or the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Emperor's upright with their soulmate, or Two of Cups, that connection, the connection of the Page of Swords messages. The weight of the world with the Ten of Wands for the Emperor receiving passionate offer, the King of Swords not moving, or the King of Cups reversed resisting, being stubborn Scorpio or Dark Knight suddenly juggling, performing, acting, and dancing. The Emperor working self into sudden death with the Ten of Wands and taking another to perform. The Emperor working themselves to sudden death, so obviously that's coming up as someone who works too much, so working themselves to death with the Ten of Wands, the weight of the world upon their shoulders, those burdens, and taking another. It's like taking another, they already have 10 wands, and it's like someone's offering them another wand. So you know that last 11th wand is definitely going to tip them over because 10's the end. So actually taking another order to perform here, which they can't handle. Perhaps the King of Swords is doing all the work, and the Emperor's being lazy. The King of Cups reversed needs prodding to get his butt moving. Perhaps 2 Scorpios in the act here. Left behind, suffering in silence, or perhaps a sister involved. The Page of Pentacles reversed, in need of help, implementing a plan to fight, compete, to the death. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or legacy at present. Death Race 2000. I'm dating myself for those of you. That's a very old movie because I was in junior high school, I think, or high school when it came out. But I was literally getting that, where someone literally would love to have Death Race 2000, where they could just run the old people down and get rid of them and get points. Death Race 2000, the movie, was a race with all these race cards with killing tools on the front of each car, and you get points. Of course, you get the most points for babies, and you got the least amount of points for old people. But when they were struggling and they couldn't find anyone, they'd go by the hospitals to take out the old people. So this was the movie. But this was coming up as really what someone's thinking about somebody anyway. So stepping right over those falling from power in fall of the family, business legacy, or community, or loss of finances, or needing to pay for a funeral. Release from prison with a negative past, justice, divorce, Libra, and or Hermit or Virgo shedding light on it. The heat is on for justice, the justice system, or discovery phase of a past life relationship. And then very soon was also coming up beneath that. Depression is out and about, or Aquarius is reversed and starting over, no longer giving orders at the gate, spying or looking in at another house or home, and their love life, or fighting and moving, or ending a marriage, or Libra is visiting or having someone check somebody else out before coming over to their house. Feet entwined in a circle of trust on the glass ceiling, sharpening blades and or words with chalices and smoke and mirrors. Perhaps a butler or maid is spying for the Mr. or Madam. Sorry, hold on one second. My mic was falling a little bit. All right, so that should be better. Okay. So perhaps a butler or maid is spying for the Mr. or Madam. And then adventure comes up, which is number 55 again, which is the Ace of Swords, and below that was change, which is 5. So a lot of 5s coming up here. The Knight of Cups upright, hiding his face, as the Four of Swords reversed is awake and coming out with the truth, to balance and share. Death reversed, I was just getting death be not proud. Dead, tired, near death, never-ending story of the Chariot waiting and the Divine Masculine working and keeping the home fires burning. A unicorn cello, music in the background, young Frankenstein, gold and platinum dogs out to prove his worth. Cancer waiting on Scorpio after offering love and the truth, the workplace co-creation being present for dysfunctional family, business, legacy, or community, or one losing money, as the Hermit sheds light, and fairy justice as Tinkerbell on an adventure of truth. In the recent past is the Queen of Swords reversed, the Two of Cups on 2 different timelines, on the journey, but drained, sick, tired, overexposed, clarity of the awakening and letting go to repair and present the truth for victory. As the 5D connects choosing a path of a new love, synchronicities, and the Two of Cups connection at 1010, which is the Wheel of Fortune times 2, which is interesting because I had 2 union reads today instead of 1. There's 2 10s. So at 1011, which is the Wheel of Fortune and then Justice, is the foundation with the King of Pentacles reversed. Losing money and status, perhaps. That can be as simple as being just ungrounded and not having a good day, or it could be as bad as someone who's really greedy and doesn't give a crap about anyone but their money. So the King of Pentacles reversed, player is falling short, or they're just holding back their desires for third party and issues at work. Implementing a plan, unhappy family, or ending of a family and or emotional cycle and unable to find peace still. The King of Pentacles is reversed, implementing a plan for a one-night stand perhaps, or to end a family cycle with third party. No peace with issues at work, and that could be issues getting along with people at work, financial issues and or third party interferences at work. The central energy here, and it could be looking for a one-night stand energy, but that energy can also be having positive intention but falling short on energy, not being able to follow through, or someone just holding back on their desires altogether, like punishing themselves because they deem that's the right thing to do in society's eyes, not for themselves. So the central energy is the Page of Cups reversed, rejected, vulnerable, or shy, or on the other hand, or in addition to, spoiled and entitled. Standing up to others, to the King of Pentacles reversed, present to the energetic exchange, offering new life, or a payoff to the High Priestess reversed, with a secret out. Someone needing to use their intuition, or receiving offers of big money, and the other side, big love. It's like the High Priestess was getting the Ace of Pentacles from one side and the Ace of Cups from the other, both coming at her at the same time. And that doesn't have to be a her, it can be a he as well. So there's no peace on the journey. The challenge being the Indigo reversed, insecure and manipulative, and the Hierophant reversed, Taurus reversed, also meaning divorced, spirituality, outside the box thinkers, and or a negative past with difficult kids, the twin exploding, erupting, sudden drama and or epiphanies. The Queen of Cups reversed, being sad or manipulative, while the Knight of Cups is offering love to an upside-down world. The Sealed Divine Feminine in 5D. Settling out, sharing, while the Messenger of Truth rushes in with the truth, stealing information or investigating, so someone might have hired an investigator to bring this information back to the Divine Masculine, or actually to steal something for them. You know, especially if people are going through divorces and things like that, they may get people, as well as kids, to go steal something from the other person's house that's theirs. So Tower of Jealousy of the Messenger of Truth on a date, fantasizing synchronicities, options, and heaven in their eyes with third-party reunion nightmare for female bull with the Divine Masculine in connection, and the harsh truth of satisfaction of patient angel and justice and or divorce, or Sagittarius and Libra. And now is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower. He working on a plan, in need of help, money, and opportunity, and or it could be a child that is. Left behind out in the cold, in judgment, announcement, wake-up call to action, the Divine's feminine heart losing hope, as the Divine Masculine is needing to heal happiness without them, and the King of Swords reversed at work doing well. Surrender in the downturn at night, hearts at a distance, and sudden devilish date, as the Queen of Swords reversed and the Magician reversed. Perhaps Cancer reversed and Aquarius reversed, hanging out happy. The King of Wands reversed, now tired of separation, and we can have fantasy and reunion here. The Queen of Swords reversed in a fantasy, and the Magician reversed in reunion. Perhaps Cancer reversed and Aquarius reversed, hanging out happy. The King of Wands reversed, now tired of the separation and uninspired by or frustrated with Sagittarius drinker with attitude or potion maker in a two-bull split, and or children dating when he's not around, and he may not like that. The Fool is free to leap away from an unhappy family, the harsh truth of being happy alone, rather being by themselves than with the family. Perhaps the King of Wands reversed is separated from a child reversed, a Page of Wands reversed, or may have lost a child, and that's the last straw. Soon for the masculine is the Page of Wands reversed, frustrated child, whether that's a child or his own inner child, unstable or moving in the war, grieving the Queen of Wands, looking the other way, to the Empress reversed, Leo, or Empress reversed, who's weak in uncomfortable feelings of healing with negative energies around, and the Queen of Swords reversed, standing up to others, to the Queen of Wands upright and the Empress reversed. They could be a mother and daughter team, or 3 generations, the Empress reversed, the Queen of Wands upright, and the Page of Wands reversed. Perhaps a sudden death in the family. He is the Tower, the cause of the drama, or he sees himself that way at 10:45, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 5 of Cups, which is that grieving, loss, regret, guilt, and shame, or stuck at the winding road, unable to make a decision. Okay, so the Magician reversed, insecure and manipulative, patient angel with the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or their legacy, starting over in love with sovereign who's free to leap, insecure about starting over, the sovereign and higher love, free to leap away from any family dysfunction. Staying optimistic about your love life came up for the masculine, as well as this could be the one, and then children are affecting your love life, and then the last one was attraction. Around the masculine, or how he's seen, is the 5 of Pentacles, feeling like they're left out in the cold, exiled, destitute, injured, or dealing with illnesses. The Page of Swords, news or message, spreading the word, on a quest for the Queen of Pentacles, divorced without affection and choosing a new path. The masculine needs to clear blocks around the 5 of Cups, grieving, synchronicities and suffering in silence, and healing. Right? Not blocking the need to grieve. If you need to grieve to cry. So that's a big one for the masculines, not being allowed to cry. But this is coming up. 5 of Cups is the block here. So allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to see the synchronicities, allow yourself to suffer in silence if you need to, or perhaps dealing with a sister and heal. And this may be dealing with a sister or siblings to come together with a parent that you may need to heal some wounds with. Compassion, creativity, patience, and karmic completion all come up here. Doing the avoid dance and romancing the stone, an olive branch, twisted pillar to twisted pillar under the mistletoe. The Divine Masculine's heart is open to connect with the Divine Feminine's heart. And I have to tell this first read, I want you to notice at the top of the pictures that I showed you, the two cards on the top of the read are the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, which is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower and the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, for me in the SIRIAN Starseed deck. So check that out because they're next to each other in this first read. Ending pain or a painful end and or betrayal and rejection, vulnerability and shy, exile from an unhappy family with the harsh truth of happiness alone with patient angel and Libra or justice and or divorce. Divine Masculine's heart is letting go to fix, mend, or make amends or repair whatever's broken, broke down, up or through, an emergency state or services, a canceled move, trip, or just not ascending on the warpath with Sovereign and King of Cups reversed. If, this was funny. This was just a little joke, and I have to show you this. This is Moses, by the way. Say hi to Moses. So this is a work of art, and I got this yesterday. It came in the mail, and he's really been a source of humorous inspiration. So I was getting like the Moses on this mountain. So you're looking at this Moses on the mountain here, right, with his hand. And I was getting that if the mountain won't go to Muhammad, then Muhammad must go to the mountain, right? The buck stops here. Moses says so. And then I was getting talk to the hand from Moses. So presently, the King of Cups reversed is freaking out. And there's more about Moses in the next read too. Presently, the King of Pentacles reversed is freaking out, causing drama, left out in the cold. The Queen of Swords reversed and the Page of Cups is reversed, challenged by the Indigo reversed and the Page of Wands reversed. And that can be like mother and child against father and child. Grieving a loss to the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine's heart because they're always feeling what each other's going through. Letting go in a state of emergency to be sovereign from the King of Cups reversed. The mountain came to Muhammad. Blocked Emperor connection from a message presently with the Queen of Swords reversed at work. The King of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Cups reversed are challenged by the Indigo reversed and the Divine Feminine's heart, implementing a plan. The Tower of the Divine Masculine, because he came up as the Tower, he sees himself that way, and the Page of Wands reversed, left out in the cold, grieving, the Divine Masculine's heart broken, and sovereign with conditions of their love. So that was coming up, and all right, so that was the first read. So now we're going to the second union read. So here's the second union read. It's not wanting to focus. There we go. So this is the second union read. And this one was done today at 11:01 to 2 this morning. The underlying energy was the indigo, which is like the magician, but in a child form. And the central energy was ascension. So a proposal of diamond light to ascend. The underlying divine feminine energy coming in was the divine feminine beacon of light leading the way through anxiety and fear, hiding as the big bomb drops, or a download comes in, or a fresh new start as their crown opens more. The 3D is the divine feminine diamond in the rough, perhaps needs work, and the divine masculine suffering in silence, or perhaps dealing with a sister, and bridging the two by the Queen of Cups, loving, nurturing, and kind. And there the masculine may be feeling unworthy. The 4D here is the King of Cups, Ascension, and the Page of Cups, where the Divine Feminine is the master of emotions. We are also getting father and child energies here. The Divine Masculine Page opening his heart and bridging the two of the father and child, the King of Cups and the Page of Cups, by ascending and knowing you hold the world in your right hand in the masculine energy. The 5D here is the Divine Feminine patience and blending with the alchemy, 7 of Pentacles and 3 of Cups. The Divine Feminine being patient and blending, the Divine Masculine in reunion and coming together in 5D by the bridge of the Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower. So using Divine Feminine's heart as a bridge between in the 5D. The Divine Feminine here is the new life in the rough with the King of Cups 4D and 5D alchemical process, the Divine Masculine suffering in silence with love thrown at him in the 4D, and a 5D then reunion. The bridge is the Queen of Cups with her cup in her left hand, and in the 4D the world in her right hand. In the 5D in the E Tower, the Divine Feminine's heart, and the outgoing Divine Masculine energies were the 6 of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the 5 of Swords, trying to get blood from a stone, the Divine Feminine having given all she has to give with little in return and depleted. The Queen of Swords with fruit of her labor and seeds to plant. Her left hand is tired, taking a break, relinquishing her sword, but holding on to her orb. The Divine Masculine frogged a prince, stretch, atop Mount Everest, juggling 3, having dropped 2, now with cracks on the ground. They're no good, but he may be just saving them for later, just in case. So my son came in to talk to me after this morning, so there was a little break there at 11:40, which was a really good chat. 11 is justice and 40 is that Page of Cups. So again, that parent-child collaboration, basically. Collaboration, cooperation, however you want to see it. But definitely being able to communicate better together. So there's definitely some growing here as far as ascension and how to deal with each other's wounds when you're living in the same house with your children. So the summary comes up here as the 9 of Cups, the Get Your Wish card, self-love and happiness, the indigo to ascension to the 9 of Cups of 6 rays of satisfaction, the 6 of Wands to the 6 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords to the Queen of Swords, the Starseed to the 5 of Swords, being the leader to sacrificial lamb on the feminine side, hiding to relinquish the truth without love, a fresh start, a drop, a big drop from jungle land to the mountaintop, planting that seed, Jack and the Beanstalk. You don't have to be a giant to reach the pinnacle and clear the clouds from your mind. Stretching from frog to prince is not so much about achievement as it is about love and opening your heart to allow and communicate your heart. There's no one to talk to atop Mount Everest. I want to remind those masculines, the fat, the chum sum, the pearl, a pubescent, accumulate at the top, at the fat cat. So whatever accumulates at the top of the fat cat, so you notice the reference to the cat again, and trickles downward with the gravity, but the heart stays in place, never ending, even post that final beat. Pa-ra-pa-pa-pum, pum, pum, pum. So the little drummer boy comes up again here. As the boy beats on, the drum of the feminine. You can use her to take out your frustrations on, or you can make music with her. It's always your choice, all in a beat of your heart. So there may have been some little frustrations between men and women. It can be between mothers and sons and fathers and daughters. All of that energy coming up between the masculine and the feminine. So the grid for this union read came up to the number 54, which is the Page of Swords, the message, which this was definitely a message. And I love how it came up here because the horizontal rows came up to 19, 0, and 35, which is the sun. 0 is source, right? The source inside the human body. And then 35 is the wounded warrior. So it was literally scaling here for us that the sun is at the top, right? The top dog, the fat cat. The 0 of the source human, like Jesus was when he was here, is the human middle dog, the cat's meow. The 35 at the bottom of the chain is the wounded warrior, the victim mentality, the bottom dog, or in other words, the hot dog, but also the pussy cat, right? Someone might be called a pussy. So then we have the other energies came up here as the Page of Pentacles, star, hangman, lovers, and patient. So the child star hangs out with patient lover. And then Elvis and Priscilla were coming up, if you remember, because she was very young when they got together. The child star on the cross with Jesus and patient lovers were coming up here. The fat cat, or the child star, hung out to dry by the world, that was Jesus on the cross, with patient lover, Mary Magdalene, in tow, on the cross with him, the wounded warrior. So then with the pussycat came up, Elmer Fudd came up, and Sylvester, because Elmer Fudd used to say, swooey wabbit, right? He'd say, be very, very quiet. Where is that screwy wabbit anyway? So that the energy between Elmer Fudd and the rabbit were also the same dynamics between Sylvester and Tweety Bird, right? The one always going after the innocent one, the parent going after the child, the masculine going after the feminine, right? The dominating of the ownership that you don't have a right to live. So it's very interesting that dynamic was coming up. So what else was right here? The student of the magician in the chariot. The magician embodiment in chariot, ascending and hanging out with lover and being patient. So patient is, again, a very important message today. So the read in front of you we are now at. And then Moses was making some more silly jokes with me. He was cracking me up looking at him. So I was getting, like in his Jewish man persona, so the mountain won't come to Muhammad. Moses will come to the mountain. So it's like the old Jewish man getting his digs. It was so funny. And then I was getting, where do you think these sayings came from? And then look at him. Stop in the name of love. Talk to the hand. This is what I'm getting from Moses, okay? So we get right into this, the second read in front of you, and that was done. The SIRIAN STARSEED deck was cut and dealt at 12:24. So again, we have the Queen of Wands from yesterday, but now we're in today's read, the 12 being the Hangman and the 24 of the Queen of Wands. And we finished the read at 12:47 to 48. 12 being the Hangman and 47 to 48 being the 7 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. The synchronicities and the options, radiating your light, and then walking away within. So the major arcana for this read were Luna, and we're starting this read about 47 minutes in case you want to mark that. So the Moon, Ascension, Chariot, and Justice. And Ascension is the World card, Luna being the Moon, of course. And then before the read, the Hanging Man came up, and that was it for the majors. Then we had 3 Cups, 3 Wands, and 1 Pentacle. There were no swords at all in this read. And the court cards that came up were only the King of Cups within the main part of the read. And before the read, we had the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. And, you know, those two can be up to something when they're together, right? The Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands. And then after the read, the Page of Swords came up, which is that message. The code line here was all about change. And the numbers that came up, we had double 3s and double 4s, as in a lesser sense, double 10s, which is that really high vibration. Double 3s is 66. Not 66. Double 3s is the Christ vibration, but also the 7 of Wands. The 44 is the 5 of Cups, mastering, grounding, integrating, the receival of love. We also have the sequence of numbers 1 through 5, which is the first half. So 1 through 5. And then we also have the number 8 and 34, which is the 8 of Wands, the 10-10, that very high vibration. 58, which is the 4 of Swords, also the connection in the 5D between the masculine and the feminine. 23 of the King of Wands, the 45 of the 5 of Cups. 410, which is a lot of source backing up 41, or the Ace of Cups, self-love, spiritual love, new love. And then 810 of source backing up 81, which is the HA, the 81, the end of karma. So it was all about change in this read and the code line here. And all about the 4 of Crystals, which in the SIRIAN Starseed deck is the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave. So there was source energy coming up here with a loon, like a lunatic. Source a loon, master of, perhaps coming up to this new moon, the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, bridging to change, or bridging to people in change. So also a mini stroke, TIA, was coming up. So someone might have had a mini stroke, or that can just be an expression for someone who's freaking out. So someone might have had a mini stroke, and then gone crazy as the lunatic master off our office rocks. So somebody might say they're off their rockers at work. Or also ALS, so lupus was coming up. And that just people crying. So that'd be people crying wolf in the gateway to change, or in the gateway of two, the twins, to change. Source Alun support urgently off the hour of cry, stalling, and the siege in order to change. So all these kind of energies are coming up here. Some of the headers that came up, we had Shakti, but it's spelled S-H-A-A-K, and then separate word T-I, which is a female from Star Wars fandom.com. This is a Togruta Jedi Master, she was female, or Jedi High Council, also on that. And then the next header was Tai Lung, so Ti was really come up, which is in Tao or Confucianism source energy. But Tai Lung came up, which is a Chinese person who really admired a French actor, Alain Delon. So when he was named, he wanted a name that sounded like that person, which is how he got Ti Lung. So that's his stage name. In 1968 with Shaw Brothers Studio, and his real name is Tommy Tam Fu Wing. Another header that came up was from TI.com, and that's about sound cascading. AWR 2243, Cascade came up, revision B. And another thing came up from that same site, TI.com, MSP 430 F663X, mixed signal microcontrollers from TI.com, okay, from source. So microcontrollers, so, and mixed signals, right? Not getting your lines straight, mixed or confused signals. So what are the 5 master stones came up? 7787, that number came up from healingcrystals.com, as well as Final Fantasy Legend of the Crystals from YouTube on January 21st this year. And part of the description was saying set 200 years in the future where 3 of 4 crystals were stolen. And 3 and 4 are the Empress and the Emperor, so there may be a reference there. And also 200 can reference a lot of source energy backing up the two psychic people, the high priestesses or the people with psychic abilities or their secrets. And then, and then every crystal ever came up in a header from YouTube, but in the description, crystals and their codes were coming up. So crystal codes was coming up. So this read in front of you starts out with the Luna or the Moon reversed. The cards underneath it were Knight of Swords reversed, 10 of Cups reversed, Knight of Wands reversed, and the Hangman upright. So deception or new moon or delta dawn, which for me is the few hours before the sun comes up. The Knight of Swords reversed is lashing out at the 10 of Cups reversed, unhappy family, and the Knight of Wands reversed, player, hanging out or leaving the divine masculine hung out to dry. Or unhappy family, or an end to family or emotional cycle amidst 2 players or 2 kids who are up to no good, or they're grounded and stuck all hanging out together. Surrendering before dawn, or in a deception, looking back at work issues getting along, financial issues, or third-party issues in a twist of fate, implementing a plan of surrender all along. Surrendering at home, the King of Cups is upright, holding their tongue, or they could be lashing out, but it seems more about holding their tongue, about doing all the work, carrying the Queen of Wands reversed and her posse, or negative groups and or influences and deceptive, or even a secret coven before sunrise. Grieving and surrender at home as or with the King of Cups cracking the whip, with slave laboring or slave labor for the Queen of Wands reversed and band of merry men, or drinking buddies, or shopping buddies, or kids, or secret society of deception, or someone up before dawn doing something sneaky, or lying about drinking and kids or friends are covering up for them, a double deception or double dare, or 2 timelines of deception and or surrender. And I was very uncomfortable during this whole time reading the cards right there. I was uncomfortable. It was not a comfortable situation. Sovereign is out or single now in breakup, or no affection with the King of Swords and the Knight of Cups reversed, jealous or just jealousy issues and rejection, insincere refusal to give or receive love, or just being moody or whiny or feeling rejected, perhaps a Cancer person, but it doesn't have to be. We had very strong, all water signs came up in this read very strongly. Cancer and Capricorn together came up several times, and then Pisces came up with Pisces came up with Scorpio and Cancer as well all together. So there's a lot of water energy there. So on one side is the Two of Cups reversed in disconnect, and the other side free to leap with the Fool, and the Page of Swords reversed without a leg to stand on, and Two of Swords upright, keeping to themselves to avoid rejection or being rejected, cutting off their penis as if it's a masculine to spite his love life no longer. The glass slipper didn't fit, so why was he trying to force it to please societal norms or family requirements? Two feathers in his cap, or is that her hat endgame? Refusing sex until he buys that crystal shoe for her or puts a ring on her finger. And now he's detoxing all of that. Manipulation and games, no more marking as territory, ownership and slavery. Do as I say, not as I do. The tripod falls over if the third leg is taken away. Insufficient support system, a lie, a rejection, madman, beast on the loose, going insane. New beginnings comes up number 1, and below that was effort, number 13, which is transformation. Letting go of the emotional attachments to suffering and silence, fear, pain. A bold move to move, travel, or ascend, or Cancer upright is starting over in love, suddenly dumping the King of Cups reversed, or vice versa. The Cancer with movement and the Scorpio blows up or has a sudden realization at 146, which is the Magician and the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is upright here. So there's a new passion, inspiration, creative drive for the Queen of Cups upright, played by the Knight of Wands reversed, or had good intentions but fell short of expectations. Expensive drapes and dresses, casino royale, poker night or poke her night, looking for a one-night stand. Ignited and fell right off the wagon, or couldn't keep it up, holding back desires while the Queen of Cups Cinderella, Rapunzel, or Juliet is waiting for her prince to arrive. The King of Cups meaning to rush in, but then chickens out, as the Queen of Cups Cancer or Scorpio waiting for Sagittarius player, and perhaps King of Cups reversed, Cancer or Scorpio saying, WTF. A feminine Queen of Cups dumped, and a feminine Queen of Cups dumped the King of Cups reversed for the Knight of Wands reversed player, or one who fell into deception, perhaps of two Cancers, or someone who has two different kinds of Cancer. Player falls short before dawn, or with Cancer reversed and Knight of Cups reversed, jealous, moody, or childish Capricorn reversed in detox, or Devil reversed, which just has to do with the addictions coming out and needing to go into rehab. For new beginnings to happen here. Dumping attachment to pain and suffering in the recent past is the King of Cups upright now, defending his truth on a quest to come out of isolation of overwork, which is not working, in heartbreak and separation. Split lies and cutting through the crap, or needing to get clarity in the situation, in detoxing with the Devil. Recovering from Hierophant, Taurus, marriage, religion, establishment, or community, or recovering from divine marriage with their twin, and now the Six of Cups, which is upright, being loving to each other, and that can have to do with kids as well. The foundation is the Five of Cups, grieving loss, regret, stuck at the why me in the road. The Queen of Swords speaks their truth of the Chariot and Ascension and Dark Night of the soul. The Queen of Swords talks to or about Cancer and Scorpio, and Empress on her head, or in her head strong ego, or Leo frustrated or with no inspiration or creativity. Or the Empress is Taurus trying to squash the Queen of Swords, Leo pacifying the warrior or Cancer and beating the Dark Knight over the head with a stick or club, or shaming him for not being able to become aroused, unable to conceive or conceptualize, or Leo Taurus, Leo going to beat it out of him, or that could be a Leo Taurus who wants to beat it out of him. Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Scorpio here, and grieving, doused passion, unable to ignite the path or the twin flame, and the central energy is the Ace of Wands reversed, frustration and anger, as the Page of Cups, message of love, the child or puppy love, happy, sunshine, energized kids, fully exposed and detoxed, free to leap away from insecurities and start over in love. And then mad again. and not knowing why, and challenged by the Four of Pentacles upright. That's the Divine Masculine's heart, holding on, saving, grounding, being practical, perhaps skating on thin ice. The Divine Masculine's heart hiding out in the Batcave after choosing a path of the Three of Pentacles reversed, third party through work. At 210, which is the High Priestess, and the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune. Heartbroken and disconnect, not seeing eye to eye or not seeing face to face. With sunshine, kids, happiness, or disconnect has been exposed. Finding happiness with self, satisfaction alone. The King of Wands is reversed, tired or angry, and meditating or resting without peace, or no peaceful place to go, in a split, lie, or in cutting through the BS to get to the clarity. Sudden jealousy or rage, defenseless to the energies, attacks, and or being ganged up on. The Knight of Cups reversed is jealous of the Page of Cups' sweetness or his inability to express his feelings, feeling childish, obsessing over sunshine, hair, and cords, and fantasy broken by Hierophant narcissism, Taurus, marriage, old man with a cap and full beard, bleeding out in betrayal for a new life, or for big monetary payoff. The Six of Pentacles is reversed and the Six of Wands is reversed, not sharing and under the radar, and now the twin flames, defenseless to the King of Pentacles, frustration or childish behavior, or a child who has temper tantrums with satisfaction, makes him feel really good to get it out, in a split, in the lie, or the BS, as they're at work dealing with this as a player, dysfunctional family, business, legacy, and or communication or community rather, or financial loss, with kids or twins being loving to each other here. And there could be an epiphany to a masculine looking back at his behavior at work and coming up. So I want to read that last sentence to you again. Now, in the crowning position is the twin flames, or the choice of path, defenseless to the King of Pentacles, frustration or childish behavior, or a child who literally has temper tantrums to get satisfaction, right, to let out that energy is very satisfying, in a split, lies, and BS that's been going on at work, and seeing themselves as a player at work, with dysfunctional family, business, legacy, and or community, with financial loss, with kids and or twins being loving now to each other. Impatient fallen angel, or a Sagittarius drinker, or a potion maker in debt, or inequity of relationship, holding their tongue, or dealing with verbal abuse, jealousy, injustice, of the Queen of Cups, dumped, or pushed to their emotional limits, kept at a distance, or Sagittarius reversed and Libra reversed, could be females not talking, or Queen of Cups dumping emotions on those who gave it to her in the first place, or just purging a lot, trying to close the distance gap. Female Sagittarius drinker with attitude, jealousy issues, and Libra reversed or injustice regarding the Page of Cups, unable to express their feelings to the Queen of Cups, thus kept at a distance. Walking away in the avoid dance, no picnic, with the Ten of Cups reversed, unhappy family, stuck with them in negative self-talk and rumors of depression and healing, arguments about juggling in narcissistic marriage and or narcissistic father, in betrayal or bleeding out, or in sudden death, holding back desires, feelings, and not expressing in order to be happy with self and get their wish, or their dream girl. Soon is ascension upright, their world complete and cycle done, closure, sealed divine feminine, and marching to the beat of her own drum, and DNA strand. Walking away and within, happy at home, hanging out, offering time, money, and effort to announcements, rebirth, the wake-up call, helping others who are stuck in pain. The Magician's reversed, insecure, not working, or disabled, or perhaps just not willing to move. And then at 238 is the King of Swords, being one of them in need of or wanting help. 238 to the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups. The Divine Feminine with the world in her right hand, and the Divine Masculine seeing himself as the Three of Cups reversed, with third-party energies in his field, or his own lack of joy, or negative influences, overindulgences, antisocial behavior, and or gossip, running away from the journey, failure, no attention or negative attention, running away from being the student again, or pulling the rug right out from under his own horse or chariot that carries the Page of Pentacles, the student, the opportunity, the invitation to see every angle of the gold coin, the unity consciousness, the gold coin, the Kohan, or in other words, the Kohans, the co-pilots, or lying, cheating, and stealing under the radar from a child, or saying it's like stealing from a child. It's easy. Recovering and keeping to themselves, the Queen of Wands is reversed, pretending not to know, or actually the actual perpetrator. The King of Cups is upright here, in charge of the operation or sting. The Emperor reversed in a fall from grace, with child a rising star, but depressed, or influenced by the Emperor's or Aquarius reversed depression. So this could be parents trying to push their child to be a star and they don't really want to be it. So 3 thieves in the night, or negative influences. The Queen of Wands reversed, the King of Cups upright, and the Emperor reversed. Aquarius reversed and Aries reversed energies came up there. The King of Cups water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, leader of the pack, and taking everyone down with him. Keep an open mind comes up here, worth waiting for, and heart-to-heart conversations. A sting, a takedown operation, a detoxing, and around it, the Chariot, a Cancer upright, in a bold move, travel, or ascending, suddenly, or a sudden event or epiphany of the fallen angel and disconnect. The High Priestess, third party, or negative group, or bad influences, gossipers, overindulgers, or a coven related to injustice of disconnect. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces are upright, but the Sagittarius and Libra energies are reversed. The High Priestess, secret or divine masculine's own psychic abilities, or Pisces suddenly is hoisted up as others suddenly fall apart. Negative groups and fallen angels fall away from her naturally, feeling judged, or a situation is not fair, not seeing eye to eye or face to face, or in a divorce or in a court settlement. Sagittarius reversed and Libra reversed fall, and the masculine needs to clear blocks around the 8 of Wands reversed, holding back feelings and true desires, arrows of love, and delays in communication or travel, or heated debates, and holding on to grudges, to spite your own face, or abundance, or death, pain, betrayal, and painful endings, and tweets, sweet tweets at 257, which is the High Priestess, and the broken heart of the 3 of Swords. So there's a need for change. Change came up, but even more so for the masculine was self-love and happy ending, surrender, and manifestation. Injustice of satisfaction, of bleeding out, or a sudden death for a new life of debt and negative attention, or no attention at all. Doing things under the radar. Player released from prison, anxiety, and now grieving instead. So trying to figure out in their head, why would it be worth it to leave behind the anxiety just to end up grieving, or they're actually doing that right now. So the 10 of Wands burden, climbing out of the hole to choose a new path away from deception of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or by the new moon, the Page of Swords reversed, negative talk, spying, lying, or kids spreading rumors about the past, or living in the past at home in union with Hierophant, commitment to higher self. The moon's reversed, in grieving, the 3 of Cups reversed, the Chariot, Cancer, and King of Cups, and the Ace of Wands reversed, frustration, or the flame blew out, and the challenge being the divine masculine's heart ascending and holding their feelings back about twin flames and the injustice of the burdens and lies about the past and home and or union. The moon reversed with the King of Cups upright, the Cancer player, grieving out of control, third energy of the twin flames, and challenged by the divine masculine's heart in the Batcave. The 3 of Cups reversed, negative influences, with the cycle complete, or third party completes me. Chariot ascends through heated debates and delays, holding back desires that are unfair burdens with the silent treatment, negative messages, spying, lying, or a child doing so, and looking back, going back, or living in the past, at home, in union, or just living in that need for stability, which is the root chakra issue, safety, and security. All right, so those are the reads, and I'm going to pull an energy card for you guys now and say bye to Moses. Say bye. All right, so for everybody watching, for the best and highest good of others concerned, another little bit of release. I like to surprise you guys. Sometimes it's more effective when you don't see it coming. All right, so for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we know? What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all negative energies, all dark energies, all viral energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystal and light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is our message in closing here? What do we need to know? Okay, there you go. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. I love this card. It's beautiful. 40 is that Page of Cups, not knowing how to express your heart. And now look, it's really blossomed there. That's beautiful. The Page of Cups is blossoming from the Page of Cups to the King of Cups, or at least to the Knight and the Queen. Then we have Patience. This is like the Statue of Liberty and having all the time in the world. The time is an illusion. As you see the look on her face, she looks kind of grumpy there. I know it's not very focused, but. And then we have the Deceit. All right, so this is, again, that Knight of Wands, which was reversed here. So watch out for people wanting one-night stands. And that might just be a deception, a way to get in, right? That's what people do when they're insecure, saying, oh, I'll just go in for a one-night stand. That way, if they think that's their initial perspective, they can't get hurt. Because then if it's just one-night stand, it's no big deal. But then if it's more than that, it is. And then they can let go of their fear about the whole situation. The underlying energy is the Angel of Balance, the 48. And that is that walking away within. So, and that card's sitting right next to Moses there. So Angel of Balance, walking away and within when you need to, because there's multifacets to the person that you're inquiring about. Okay? Which can be within you as well. The one who's 3D and all about time, the one who's very evolved, and the other one who's very not evolved. So we're coming back to the bottom feeder, the middle ground, and the high ground there. Okay, that they're all a part of you. It's like 3D, 4D, 5D there. Whew, it's getting very hot in here. A lot of masculine energy, I guess. All right, I'm going to pull you one more card from the Crystal Angels. See what comes up for you there. That was the middle energy was more feminine. It's like the feminine is bridging, it's the feminine, oh, that came up as the feminine heart, remember. The feminine heart came up as the bridge between the two of you. And then, so the masculine still may be polarized in his extremes, right, of deceit and then very high vibration and needing to bring them together. And that occurs in the Divine Feminine's heart. All right, guys. One more card. All right, well, I lied. There's 3 cards that came up. And then the underlying energy is Peridot, life lessons. You can break free from reoccurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and blessing they contain. And again, that's regarding balance. And you got 3 cards here. Opal, let yourself sparkle and shine. You're guided to be bold and show your bigger than life side to the world. And then Sugilite or Sugilite, open your divine power, or own your divine power. Replace codependent people pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. And this is very feminine energy here. The first one was more masculine. This is more feminine. So the Fluorite, natural beauty and authenticity. Be yourself as God made you naturally attractive and lovable inside and out. Okay. So again, these are the energies from this deck. Very feminine. Okay, very blues to purples too. This is like going from the throat chakra on up. And very pinky in here too, so a lot of compassion. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful for you. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest. It was just 1:14 on the dot. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. Be good to yourself. Take it easy and rise and be loved, guys. Bye.